American Bash. 2 weeks after the 4th of July. And it's your boy, Icon, with the wrestling, another wrestling review for you. And before we get started, hit the notification bell, like and or subscribe to my channel. Check out my Superman review because I have my review for Superman up on my channel, the full review, spoilers out the yin yang. And let's get started as we talk about a little wrestling action. So, on this particular pre-show, see, that's what it felt like to me. The Great American Bash felt like the pre-show to the entire weekend because we have Saturday night's main event tonight, and then we also have Women's Evolution tomorrow. And it feels like this show was just like the precursor to all that because the matches that were on here, with the exception of the Women's North American Championship match, they weren't really like big, like big main event like matches that you could really sink your teeth into. And they spent most of the pay-per-view promoting Evolution, which is tomorrow. So I know, but I mean, it was a decent show, but it just wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like one of the best shows they could have put on. And it also felt like a lot of people that I'm just not a fan of was in this pay-per-view too. So that also adds to my blandness about, how it turned out. But we're going to review it. We're going to go through it and talk about the wrestling. So for the show started. It kicked off with Javon Evans versus, what was his name? Jasper Troy. That is the most like hick hillbilly-ish name I've ever seen. And here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have, because they brought Troy up, Jasper Troy. They brought him up. And he comes out, he's got the jeans, the long coat on, he got the chains hanging from his wrists, the mask, the hair. He looks like a monster. He looks like an unstoppable force. He looks like a juggernaut. He looks like somebody that's going to kill somebody, as he should. The problem is, right out the gate, they put him in the ring with Obafemi for the championship. And unless he was going to win the championship, I didn't see the point of doing that. But it didn't hurt him because him going one-on-one with Obafemi put eyes on him. Because people were like, wow, this dude is dangerous. Like, he almost beat Obafemi. He almost beat the champion. So this guy can go places. Like, this guy might be the next big thing. We got to watch out for this guy. And then they had a thing where they put him in the ring with the Asian dude, Yosha Yaka Shishi, or whatever. He fought Jasper. And then he beat Jasper for the #1 contendership to fight Obafemi. So now I'm just like, so you let this man lose twice. He was fine after the first loss, and because he just fought Obafemi for the championship, it's not a big deal if he loses this one because he just had a title shot and nobody's going to really want to see him do the back-to-back so quickly. But now that you're going up against Javon Evans, who's injured and has injured ribs, this is your opportunity now to get that big win, because ever since he's been on the show, he hasn't gotten a big win. And in order to keep the momentum of him being an unstoppable force, a beast, and a juggernaut, you have to give him a big win in order to catapult him, into that stardom that, he's supposed to be at. So I'm like, well, Javon Evans is obviously, this is going to be the guy he's going to beat. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the big name person he's going to beat, which is going to put his name on the map and give him all that success. Nope, Javon Evans beat him. So now I feel like he's dead in the water, because at this point, why should I care about Jasper Troy if he lost his first 3 matches on NXT television? Like, he lost his first 3. I mean, I don't know if he had a squash match or not. I can't remember, but he lost his first 3 big matches on NXT television. So if he fights someone else now, it's like, now why should I care? Like, I'm at the point now, I'm just like, okay, well, he's basically going to be the scary guy that loses a lot, which is kind of disappointing. So, like I said, I'm losing interest on him now, and I was very high up on him on the beginning, but and I guess like the feud between the two of them is over now because Javon Evans got the victory. He picked up the dub, and that was it. So we'll see what happens with Javon Evans because he still got the bruised rib situation, and then we'll see what happens with Jasper Troy and how or if he can recover, from taking all 3 losses to the people that he took. Next after that, we had the North American Women's Championship match, Sol Ruka and her shadow versus Izzy Dame with Tatum Paxley. And for the love of God, I love Tatum Paxley. Like, she's actually a character that I'm really high on. I love Tatum Paxley. I'm not a fan of Sol Ruka. I feel like she's just a spot monkey, like she's a one-trick pony, and there's nothing about her that stands out more than like other people. I don't even know why she's a double champion. I don't even know why she's a double champion. I feel like they're giving that girl way too much too soon, and it's only a matter of time before she hurts herself. And she even she botched a move at one point where she almost slipped off the ropes because I think like she's like the Jeff Hardy of like the NXT Women's Division where she just does unnecessary shit. And it's not, and I say, but she doesn't do things that we haven't seen other people do a million times. So it's like she's not even bringing anything new to the table aside from the Soul Snatcher. And even that's starting to look choreographed the way Izzy Dame took the Soul Snatcher. My whole thing with Zara is just like, just tell her you're in love with her and let's get it over with, because you hanging around her like this is weird. Like, it's just because what makes it weird, it's like if the girl likes you, if she likes you, like if this is like some weird relationship where she got a crush on you or something, I wish they just come out and say that, because the problem is Zara was supposed to be like this unstoppable monster. She was supposed to be the person who walked to NXT all across the land, and now she's doing her hair and her makeup. She's wearing high heel shoes, and as like I turned into a girl. I'm like, this isn't what I wanted from her. Like, I wanted her to destroy people. Like, I wanted her to kill people. And it's like, now you're just like, she's just like following Sol Ruga around like a lovesick puppy. And it's just like, it's annoying. Like, it's uncomfortably annoying. And then Izzy Dame is whack. Like just because you're banging Braun Breaker doesn't mean you deserve the spot. Like, the match was very sloppy to me too. Like, I wasn't a fan of it. The fans chanted, "This is awesome" at one point, and I was like, why? And then, like in the end, due to interference, due to Tatum Paxley's interference, she got speared by Zara, and then, Sol Ruka, she hit a Soul Snatcher off the middle rope, which was choreographed as hell, and then she got the 1-2-3 victory. It's not that I'm sick of Sol Ruka, she just doesn't impress me. So I'll just be, especially when you got real talent, just like waiting around, like doing nothing, but whatever. She's a speed champ, she's a North American Women's champ. So she's going to be here for a while in that spot, and I just hope she has like better competition and like better talent, because I'm not really impressed with what I've seen from everybody in this whole thing so far. But she retained the championship. She's going to be the only female aside from Callie Armstrong. She's not going to defend her belt tomorrow. She's going to be in a tag match tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that at Women's Evolution. Next up was for the North American Men's Championship. It was Ricky Saint versus Ethan Page. I like Ricky Saint. I like Ethan Page. I no longer like them together. Like, I'm tired of seeing them together. And I feel like Ricky Saints should still be the North American champion, and Ethan Page should probably be called up to SmackDown by now. They had, there was they had a Falls Count Anywhere match, so obviously there was like weapons and tables, and it was like there was nothing out of the order. Like, the match wasn't even that long. Like, there was nothing about the match that was like special, that like that stood out. Because it was a regular basic match. Ethan Page, he picked. I was surprised Ethan Page won, to be honest with you. So maybe they're saving. They're saving Ricky Saints' big win for like Stand and Deliver or something like that. But Ethan Page got the W. Like, he pinned Ricky Saints, and Ethan Page has retained the North American Championship. So we'll see who he fights now, who the next champ. Because I don't even know like what other baby faces are there in that mid card division that can challenge Ethan Page. So I mean, unless we're gonna get Ricky Starks again, and I'm just like, nobody wants to see that at this point. So I'd like to see both of them move on to somebody else. Or Ricky Saints should have actually got the belt back so he could feud with other people. But I said he didn't win, and we'll wait and see what the plan is for a young Ethan Page and Mr. Saints. Then we had the contract signing with Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana. And that was a contract signing. Like, everybody talked their talk, as Trick Willie likes to say. And then after that, that weird group, I was about to call them Insurrection. I don't know their name. Like, see, the problem that I have with the group is it's the people that's in it. The dark-skinned black dude, he actually seems like he's about that life. I don't really know too much about him. The white guy doesn't fit in the group at all. Because like when he tries to talk tough, he just sounds like like a preppy school kid. The light-skinned black dude, it's hard to take him seriously because you were the same person who was backstage reading books with glasses on, and you were speaking, like proper. You're just like, oh, I'm not even in a love triangle with all of these people. Now all of a sudden, like, now you a thug. It's just like, y'all put the 4 worst people together to do this shit. It's like, I mean, if y'all put a girl in the group, maybe I'll care a little bit more, but I don't care about them. Like I said, but they came, like, they whooped, Joe Hendry's ass or whatever. Trick ran for the hill. They did their contract signing, so I guess at TNA they're gonna wrestle for the triple threat for the TNA championship. And that's when Trick's finally going to lose the belt, because he can't keep it forever. Like, he's not a TNA wrestler. So Joe Henry or Mike Santana's going to win the belt back, and then, Trick will be done. And then maybe he'll get called up, because Trick, that's like, once Trick loses the TNA championship, I don't know what the hell else he's going to do on like on NXT. So I believe like it's time for him to move on once he loses that title. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship, the NXT Heavyweight Championship, Obafemi versus Yoka Tasha Michinoku. And I'm like, come on, like if we could stop the cap for a moment, like we knew Obafemi wasn't losing that shit to his ass. And I'm tired of Obafemi being the NXT heavyweight champion and not being the main. He has not made, I cannot think of one NXT pay-per-view that this man has main evented all year. Even the Madison Square Garden pay-per-view, he was against Moose. He wasn't even the main event for that. He's not even the main event of his own show. But he steamrolls the competition. He puts on some of the best matches. There was a moment where Josh Briggs tried to cheat for him, like he hit Obo over the head with the belt, didn't phase him. He ended up getting the victory. He put Homeboy, through the ring. Obafemi retains the NXT Heavyweight Championship. And then in the back, when the Asian dude didn't know that Brooks tried to Josh Briggs, I'm calling him Brooks. Josh Briggs, he didn't know that Josh tried to cheat on his behalf. So he went to Oba to shake his hand like a man, and then when he tried to shake his hand like a man, Josh showed up and he was like, "Don't shake his hand." And he pushed Oba, and him and Oba got into it. So now Josh Briggs is gonna fight Obafemi, and Obafemi gonna kill him. But but for the love of God, I was like, put this he's the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Put this man in the goddamn main event where he belongs, because that's what everybody waiting for. But that was it. Obafemi, the ruler, is still your NXT champion. And finally, in the main event, which for some reason was not for the NXT Heavyweight Championship, the main event was Jordynne Grace, Blake Monroe's corny behind, versus Toxic Attraction. JC Jane did an interview backstage where she actually did the interview without with the rest of Toxic Attraction, so they found out about that. And if I'm not mistaken, JC Jane is supposed to defend the NXT Women's Championship tomorrow at Evolution against Jordynne Grace. So if JC Jane is supposed to wrestle against Jordynne Grace tomorrow for the championship, why isn't Jasmine Nix not the tag partner for Fallon Henley in this match? I don't understand why they're not putting this girl in the ring. You could put her in the ring in a tag team situation. It's perfectly fine. And then Jasmine looks like she's getting a little bigger too, because she was very skinny and scrawny, and she kind of bulked up a little bit. So now she actually it looks like I could take her seriously now, aside from her looks. So, but that was interesting to see. But it was a good tag match. I mean, I can't stand Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe's movements in the ring was awkward. I'm like, you're another Tiffany Stratton, you're another Trish Stratus, you're another Maurice, you're another basic blonde that does basic blonde shit and with little talent to show for it. She looked nervous. She, like I said, she botched. It wasn't impressive. Jordynne Grace was impressive. I keep calling them Toxic Attraction. What was their Fatal Influence? Fatal Influence, they shine. Fatal Influence looked good. There was even a moment where Jasmine Nix, she was cheating. She was helping to cheat on their behalf, and then the TNA heavyweight champion Masha Slamovic, she showed up. And then, she ended up taking out Jasmine Nix at one point. And Jasmine actually fought her back. It wasn't like she just whooped her ass and she scurried away and ran. Jasmine Nix was actually throwing blows back. So maybe she'll pop up on TNA and she'll fight the champion at some point. But it was it was aside from Blake Monroe, it was a good tag team match. And in the end, Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace got the victory, because you can't have Blake Monroe lose in her first big, NXT PLE. But like I said, she trash. Not looking forward to seeing what she's got going on in the future. But that was how the pay-per-view ended, with the NXT Women's Champion sitting on her ass. So she's probably going to retain tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I mean, honestly, the show was kind of like a 5.5, 5. It's a low 5, because, and I get it, because you have other, I feel like if Obafemi would have closed the show, and if Jasper would have defeated Javon Evans, and if Soul would have lost the title, I would have cared more about this pay-per-view. But like I said, it just had a lot of people on it that I'm not really a fan of. And the ones that I was a fan of didn't really, get to do that much to shine. So, like I said, but it's, whatever. We're focused. It's more about Evolution. So we're waiting for Evolution. And this was just a bump in the road until we get there. But share your questions, comments, and concerns. Let me know what you thought about NXT Great American Bash, and let's continue to talk about it. Check me out on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns. And we're going to roll on, because we're going to cover Saturday night's main event, which I hope is a lot better than this show. And we're also going to cover Women's Evolution. And again, don't forget to check out my full review for Superman, who came out on theaters this weekend. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So till next time, for some NXT action, saying goodbye for the Great American Bash. And we're out this...